One major thing that everyone who visits New York City wants to do is go see beautiful views of the skyline. And why wouldn't you? The Manhattan skyline is one of those iconic things that you've definitely seen in tons of movies and photos. The first thing that most people think of when they think about going to see the views are one of the observation decks. So the Empire State Building, One World Observatory, the Edge, Top of the Rock, and all of these are beautiful and fantastic, but they're also really expensive. The average adult ticket for these hovers around $40, with the cheapest being $36 for the Edge, and the most expensive being the VIP ticket for Top of the Rock, which is $95. If those aren't in the budget for you, no worries. Here are 8 places where you can see the New York City skyline for absolutely free. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Hannah. This is the second time I'm filming this due to audio issues, and I would really appreciate it if you subscribe if you haven't already for new videos every single Saturday. A little spoiler alert, none of these places are in Manhattan. That is because to get the best views of Manhattan, you need to leave Manhattan. So let's start in Brooklyn, and the first several of these are actually close enough together that you can walk to them from one another, so that's really nice too. First on the list is Brooklyn Bridge Park. Brooklyn Bridge Park is located right by the neighborhoods of Dumbo and Brooklyn Heights, and you can take the NYC Ferry right into the park, or you can take the A or C train to High Street or the F train to York Street. Brooklyn Bridge Park is huge at 85 acres or 1.3 miles, so you can get all sorts of different angles of the view of Manhattan. You can see everything from here, with Lower Manhattan being the closest. You can see One World Trade Center up close, the Statue of Liberty, both the Brooklyn and Manhattan bridges, and you can see the Empire State Building and Midtown off in the distance. My personal favorite spot in the park is an area called Pebble Beach, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a little beach area with some pebbles, and it goes right down to the water, and there's a nice set of stairs that you can sit on, and you can see everything. It is stunning. Directly above Brooklyn Bridge Park, up in Brooklyn Heights, is the Brooklyn Heights Promenade. The view from the Promenade is honestly pretty similar to the view that you get in Brooklyn Bridge Park, but just with a slightly different vantage point, and I wanted to include it on here because it's really nice and I really love it there a lot. The closest trains are the 2 or 3 train at Clark Street or the A or C at High Street. If you're staying over in Manhattan, you're gonna have to get back there somehow, so why not just walk across the Brooklyn Bridge? It is absolutely stunning, both the view of the skyline and the bridge itself, and there's nothing like when you're right out in the middle with the East River under you and you can see 360 views of Manhattan and Brooklyn. Pro tip, I know everyone wants to see Manhattan, it's the star here, but Brooklyn is also really beautiful, so make sure to turn around and take a look. So maybe it's your second or third time in the city and you've already walked the Brooklyn Bridge and you want something else to do, or maybe it's just too crowded for you that day, which is highly likely, so why not walk the Manhattan Bridge instead? From Brooklyn, you'll enter at J and Sand Streets, and if you're in Manhattan, you'll enter from Bowery and Canal Street. This walk is definitely a little grittier than the Brooklyn Bridge walk, and I personally think it's pretty cool. The bridge itself and its surroundings have more of an industrial vibe, especially when you're on the Brooklyn side. You can see a lot of really cool street art. Unfortunately, there is a fence up along the bridge that obstructs the view just a little bit, but it's not so bad. You can see through it, and there are several conveniently placed holes in this fencing that will allow you to get a good picture. So these are the 4 spots that are all walkable from each other, but now we're gonna head a little bit north and go to Domino Park in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. To get to Domino Park, you can take the NYC Ferry to the South Williamsburg stop, you can take the J, M, or Z trains to Marcy Avenue, or you can take the L train to Bedford Avenue. Domino Park is another waterfront park that is actually located on the grounds of the old Domino sugar refinery. It has a much more funky, industrial vibe than Brooklyn Bridge Park does, and it is just as beautiful. It's located across the water and almost directly between the financial district and Midtown Manhattan, so you get really great views of both of them as well as the Williamsburg Bridge. Also, while you're over here, if you can swing it, maybe get a taco from Taco Cena. They're pretty good. There is one more waterfront park on my list, but this time we are leaving Brooklyn and we're gonna head to Queens to check out Gentry State Park in Long Island City. You can take the NYC Ferry to get here as well to the Hunters Point South stop, or you can take the 7 train to Vernon Boulevard, Jackson Avenue. This one is located directly across from Midtown Manhattan, so if you're wanting a closer view of the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building and all those iconic sites, here is the place to do it. The famous Pepsi Cola sign is here as well, so make sure to check that out while you're here. Roosevelt Island seems to be somewhat of a hidden gem, even though it's not hidden at all. It is located right in between Manhattan and Queens, and you can get here by taking the F train to the only subway stop on Roosevelt Island. There is also an NYC Ferry stop here, or you can take my favorite method of transportation for this particular location, the Roosevelt Island Tramway. Since it is so close to both Manhattan and Queens, you get beautiful views of the Upper East Side in Manhattan, Midtown, as well as Long Island City, Queens. It's also super quiet and relaxing if you are looking for a break from all the chaos over in Manhattan. Our last one is the Staten Island Ferry, which, yes, is completely free. It is about a 30-minute ride from Lower Manhattan over to Staten Island and 30 minutes back, so hour round trip if you just hop right back on. And it is the absolute best place to see the Statue of Liberty for free. You get very, very close, and you also get gorgeous views of the East River, Lower Manhattan, Brooklyn, and New Jersey, if that interests you at all. Alright, so this wraps up my list of the best 8 places to see New York City for free, but there are a couple more that are almost free that I just want to mention here, and both of them are methods of transportation, and you're going to have to get around the city, so you might as well do it in a really beautiful way. The NYC Ferry is only $2.75 a ride, which is the exact same as a subway ride. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you will know I'm a huge fan of the ferry. I could not recommend it more. It's an absolutely beautiful ride and an extremely cheap alternative to a harbor cruise if that's out of budget as well. The other one was also mentioned earlier, the Roosevelt Island Tram. It is a 4-minute ride that goes between Manhattan and Roosevelt Island, and it really gives you that view of looking at the city from up above, like you would at one of the observation decks. It's super nice, and also just $2.75, like the subway or the ferry. Let me know down in the comments which of these places are on your list to visit on your trip to New York City. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. It really helps me to know what content you guys like and helps YouTube to know to push my videos out to more people. Also, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.